from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. My 20 brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's the rubber game of this three-game series. The Astros meet the Washington Nationals. Good afternoon, everybody. For Day Baseball, Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros with a win would go 3-3 on this homestand. That would equal the best homestand they've had all year, JD.
And it would be their first series win since beating the Dodgers in L.A. in the middle of June. That's the only series they've won since the beginning of June. It's been a long drought for this club, and a couple of crafty veteran right-handers take the hill today. It's Livan Hernandez, 36 years of age. Boy, he's been in the league a good long while, and he's one of those guys that works below hitting speed. His average fastball is about 83 miles an hour, but he's got a wide assortment of pitches, big loopy curveball, a slider. He'll drop down, give you a little sidearm look. Very crafty pitcher is Livan Hernandez. And Myers, he features the breaking stuff too. Good curveball, good slider. It's been a bumpy ride for Myers so far this year, but last time out, despite losing, he pitched quite well. A season high 11 strikeouts.
Coming up next, the Astros got out the bats last night. Clint Barmas went deep, and they held off the Nationals 7-6. Michael Bourne a big factor. He drove in 3. We'll see Game 3 of this series in just a moment.
.20 is brought to you by your local Texas Ford dealers. And with the ball game about to begin, let's go to the booth. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg. And it is the Major League debut of young Jose Altuve. Came out of that dugout and headed for second base wearing number 27. 21-year-old Venezuelan native ready to go. And here's the Nationals batting order. Roger Bernardina, Danny Espinosa, Ryan Zimmerman, Michael Morse, Jason Worth, Rick Ankiel, Jesus Flores, Alex Cora, Livan Hernandez. The game about to begin with Bernardina. Red Meyer's first pitch is ball 1 to him. Vic Carapazza is calling the pitches. 264 for Bernardina, 5 homers. He's driven in 20. He's 2 for 7 with a walk in this series. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Nationals are 1 game under 500 at 48-49. They're in 4th place in the NL East, 12.5 back of the Phillies, 1/2 game behind the Mets. Now 3-0.
Myers, decent movement on that fastball, but not able to find the strike zone. Be willing to throw right down the middle here for a couple. Tried.
4-pitch walk to Bernardina, and he is a base stealer with 15 and 17 tries. He's aboard for Espinosa.
Take a peek at the last 3 outings for Myers. Gave up a career high 13 hits on July 4th in Pittsburgh, and then struggled with his command some in that start in Florida before the break, and then first start after the break here against the Pirates on Friday. Pitched quite well. He got beat 4-0, but he had 11 strikeouts in 6 innings.
Espinosa with 17 homers is tied for the major league lead among second basemen. There's ball 1. He has 55 runs batted in, and his average is .242. In this series, he's 0 for 8.
5 pitches in, we've got our first meeting on the mound. Defensively, Leaborn and Pence cover the outfield. The addition there, Jose Altuve, first major league start. Scouting report says he is a very good defender. Quick hands, quick feet, turns the double play well.
Espinosa looks at a strike, and it's 1-1. Danny?
AT HOU, he knows when to go to the mound. Makes things happen.
Yeah. Espinosa with those 55 runs batted in leads all major league rookies. Has 37 extra base hits. Runner going. Quintero with a throw to Barmes, and safe at second base. Bernardina gets steal number 16.
Picked a good pitch, off speed pitch, had a nice jump. A lot of things to like about this young Nationals team. Very athletic, steal bases, they defend well, cover a lot of ground both in the infield and outfield. Bernardina clearly safe there with that head first slide.
Now bunting. Espinosa keeps it fair for a while, then it goes foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Not a bad try there, trying to push a bunt down the third baseline for a base hit. And if CJ were able to make a play on him, at least Bernardina would be at third with 1 out. I don't see many guys try to bunt for a base hit when they already have a strike on them.
No.
I like it. I even like the 2-strike bunt for a base hit. You never see that. Not since Brett Butler retired.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about him. He's about the last guy who did that. You're right. Any degree of certainty. Now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes with Zimmerman on deck. Nationals are 2-3 on this road trip. They lost 2 of 3 in Atlanta. They're headed for Los Angeles after this game. They have a day off tomorrow before taking off over against the Dodgers. They hoped they'd take over against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. And that's a pop-up on the infield. Chris Johnson underneath. Myers gets out number 1, and now it's Ryan Zimmerman.
After soft stuff early, Myers able to get that fastball in on Espinosa a little bit. A late swing, inducing that lazy pop-up.
248 for Ryan Zimmerman. He has 5 homers. He's driven in 19 runs.
Myers has pitched 34 times against the Nationals /Expos, 23 times as a starting pitcher, 10-9, 4 saves, 4.05 ERA.
He throws strike 1 to Zimmerman, who has 5 homers, 19 runs batted in with a .248 batting average. He hit his most recent homer off Jordan Lyles Monday night, and then last night he almost got another one in the 9th inning with the Nationals down by 1. Hit one just missing the right field foul pole, then he grounded out.
Ooh, look at that strike. Oh, that went away.
Yeah.
That's a strike all day long. It's going to be a good day for the pitchers.
Vic Carapazza.
There you go. There is a strike. From our angle, it looked off.
1-2. Zimmerman in his last 13 games has hit .318, 3 doubles, 2 homers, driving in 6.
He has very good numbers against Myers. 13 out of 37. That's a .351 batting average with a couple of long balls. Plus he's drawn 8 walks.
He takes that close one, and it's 2-2. Nationals won 5-2 Monday night. Last night it was the Astros. Win 7-6. Those are those excellent numbers for Zimmerman against Myers. Myers trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, covering his last 4 starts. That's close, and it's 3-2. Mike Morse is on deck.
Myers clearly not happy with the call. He thought he made the same pitch that he got the call on the outside corner previously. This one a little bit off the edge. Big pitch for him. Thought he had a dangerous hitter punched out. Staying away exclusively. Might be a good time to try to run one in on him. Do the same thing he did to Espinosa. Get a pop up if he can get it in on his hands a little bit.
Ground ball to shortstop. Barmas to his left. Over to Wallace. 2 outs. Bernardina takes third. Michael Morse follows, and he had quite a game last night with a homer and a pair of doubles. He also walked and was hit by a pitch, reaching all 5 times in that game.
Well, he was on base 3 times in the first game of the series. A home run, a couple of singles. The only time they got him out in the opener was a line out to right field.
17 homers, 52 driven in with a .314 average for Morse. Morse looks at ball 1. Morse had a stretch of 4 homers in 4 games back in May. Last year he hit 15 bombs and 266 at bats. That was kind of a precursor of what you might expect if he got more playing time. Line drive left, caught by Carlos Lee. Even when they get him out, he hits it hard.
Don't be afraid to pop one up. My goodness, man.
No score. Come out with Michael Bourne, Jose Altuve, Hunter Pence, Carlos Lee, Brett Wallace, Chris Johnson, Clint Farmas, Humberto Quintero, and Brett Myers against Livan Hernandez.
The road goes on forever and the party never ends for 36-year-old Livan Hernandez. Continuing to pitch in the major leagues and pretty successfully too. As you look at his last 3 outings, let me see here, pretty solid work, except for that game against Chicago where he got touched for 6 earnings in 5 2/3. For the year he's 5-9. Bernardina and Keel may be the best throwing arm in baseball out there in center field. Jason Worth covers right. Cora gets a start at short today. And Jesus Flores also his first appearance of this series. A kid who was once a very highly regarded prospect, had some injury problems. He used to really throw well, but not so much anymore. So you can run on him if you get on.
Michael Bourne takes that one, and the count is even at 1-1. Michael had a big night last night. 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. This fly ball hits for the left field line. Spreading over and on the run is Bernardina.
Facing Livan Hernandez calls for patience for a hitter. He doesn't intimidate you. He's not going to blow you away with his stuff. As a matter of fact, his fastball is probably the softest in all of Major League Baseball, averaging about 83 miles an hour. So he appears to be hittable, but you got to be patient and get a ball over the plate.
First plate appearance in the majors for Jose Altuve, who at Lancaster and Corpus Christi combined hit .389, 10 homers, 59 runs batted in, and OPS of a gaudy 1,012. He led the minor leagues with that combined batting average. Fly ball right field coming over toward the line. Jason Worth. 2 outs quickly for Livan Hernandez.
I wonder what the average pitches seen is for all major leaguers in their first major league at bat. Those guys go up there hacking. They get so much adrenaline going.
He arrived last night about the 6th inning of the game, was ready to pinch hit in the 8th, and now got his first at bat. Hunter Pence follows. .315 for Hunter, 11 homers. He's driven in 61 with a .356 on base percentage. He's 0 for 8 in this series. 3 for 19 on the current homestand, which ends today. Strike from Livan Hernandez to Pence. The Astros have a day off tomorrow, but they'll be traveling in the afternoon to Chicago, where they'll open a 10-game road trip Friday afternoon. Another My 20 game Friday afternoon. Smacked on the line toward the left field wall. The one hops the wall, kicks by Bernardina. Now Pence goes into second. He's going to head for third. Bernardina's throw to third, offline, stand-up triple. Third triple for Hunter Pence.
And although the potential for crazy caroms is certainly there off that scoreboard, we don't see that many. And that one was a bizarre one. That one must have hit just one of the edges of those frames where they put the scores up. Watch the kick that this ball takes. Probably was going to be a double anyway with Pence's speed, but once it kicked away from Bernardina, it became a sure double, possible triple, and ultimately an easy triple.
Now Carlos Lee has a runner at third with 2 outs with 49 runs batted in. He has 7 homers and a .275 average. El Caballo's been getting his hits at a good pace lately. He's 4 for 6 with an RBI in this series. 7 for 18 on the homestand. Taking ball 1.
6 out of 18 in his career with a long ball off Livan.
Red Wallace on deck. It's 2-0.
Cannot sit on any pitch really with any confidence against Livan. He'll throw any pitch in any count. That's an equalizer for him. In fastball count over the years, he's been able to flip that slow curveball into the strike zone to get a called strike, get himself back into the count.
Line drive center field, 1-0 Astros on the RBI single by El Caballo. 50th run batted in for Carlos Lee.
We talked about the need to be patient against Livan Hernandez, and you also have to be willing to take what he gives you. He has such good command. Typically, I mean, we've seen him go out there and have some abysmal games as well, but he usually throws the ball where he wants to a high percentage of the time. So a willingness there by Carlos just to punch that slider into center field That gives him an RBI single.
Brett Wallace is the batter. That one goes foul outside the left field line for strike one. Wallace with 4 homers, 26 runs batted in, carries a .281 batting average. Wallace 0 for 4 in this series, 2 for 11 on the homestand. Bouncer, and the second baseman is there. Espinosa for the third out. 1 run scoring on 2 hits with a man left. The Astros lead it 1-0 after 1.
Of course, Jose Altuve made his debut with a fly out to right field, but thanks to Game Connect, best of luck to my teammate from this season in Lancaster, Jose Altuve. That's from Jordan Camadina. Says this guy can flat out hit. Well, we expect it because he has .389 in the minor leagues this year.
You know what Chris Berman would call Jordan?
No.
Funky Camadina.
You can
that's a slam dunk.
Participate, of course, on the Game Connect by going through foxsportshouston.com, clicking it on, and you can tweet, you can send emails. That was an email, and we'll read some of them.
Jason Worth takes that one, and he's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes with 10 homers, 31 runs batted in, a .212 batting average for the ice cold Jason Worth.
Former Philly mates doing battle here.
Michael Bourne over in left center field's calling for this one. 1 out.
Kind of what you see from a struggling hitter right there. Had the count in his favor, 2-0. Myers challenged him with a fastball right over the heart of the plate, and he just hits a lazy fly ball. When he's going good, he might hit that one out of the ballpark.
Former St. Louis Cardinal, Kansas City Royal, Atlanta Brave, Rick Ankiel the batter. .230, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. He takes strike one. He just had his 32nd birthday yesterday. Been a pinch runner in the first 2 games of the series. This is start number 1 for him against the Astros. It's 1-1 to Rick Ankiel. Brett Myers 1-6 at home. 2 balls and a strike. His ERA at home 5.24. For Myers' career at Minute Maid Park, he's 10-7 with a 3.25 ERA. In the air and on the infield, it goes toward Clint Barnes at shortstop. 2 outs for Myers. This is Flores to follow. As JD mentioned, he's had surgery on his shoulder and missed all of last season. coming back slowly, getting his first start in this series. Flores, 26 years old. He was a Met originally and then taken in the Rule 5 draft by Washington in December of '06. He's from Venezuela, hitting .200 for only 10 at bats. Strike to Flores. In that '07 season, after being a Rule 5 draft choice, he hit .244 with 4 homers for the Nationals. Line drive, left field line. Carlos Lee hustles over for it. He backhands and holds him to a single. First hit by the Nationals comes from Flores, with Cora coming up next. Alex Cora over the years has been known as an outstanding glove man. .233 with the bat, no homers, 6 runs batted in. A lot of times he'll come in and play in the late innings defensively. On this particular infield, though, that probably doesn't happen very much because they have good defenders and young players at all the infield positions on the Nationals this year. Chopped, and Myers can't get it. It goes off Barmas' glove into right center field. That allows Flores to go from first to third on the bouncing single by Cora.
Nationals trying to put a little something together here after 2 quick outs. Solid single Flores, little seeing eye base hit by Cora just over the glove of Myers. Maybe he even got a piece of it. And then off the glove of Barmas. The ball just destined not to be caught.
Yeah.
Just it was going to make its way to the outfield one way or another. Now Livan Hernandez, again, another outstanding hitting pitcher, one of the best of this generation.
10 career homers for Livan Hernandez, 82 runs batted in.
And I think that's a cue just out there to remind Brett Myers of that. Don't forget, this guy could swing it a little bit. Don't get careless.
.221 batting average for Livan Hernandez. Making his 18th career start against the Astros. He's won 6 at Minute Maid Park. Ball 1 to him. Hernandez has had 29 at bats. He's only struck out twice. Bounce to second. Altuve over to Wallace. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men stranded. 1-0 Astros in the second.
August 6th, mark this on your calendar. The Astros will host the Brewers at 6:05, and after the game, fans can enjoy the Praise in the Park program featuring comedian Marcus Wiley and a concert with 2010 Best Gospel Artist Award winner Marvin Sapp. Get your discounted tickets by visiting astros.com/praise today.
Saturday, August 6th. Thank you, Greg. 1-0 Astros. Chris Johnson in the box. Home second inning beginning with CJ. At 2:46, he has 6 homers, 35 runs batted in. Let's that one go, and it's ball 1 with Varmus and Quintero to follow in the Astros second inning. It's a 2-ball, no strike count. Chris 2 for 8 in this series. He's 4 for 13 on the homestand. Tap foul, and it's a 2-ball, 1 strike delivery coming next for Livan Hernandez. Listed age is 36. Signed as a free agent by Florida in '96 to a 4-year deal. He was traded to the Giants after '99. Traded to Montreal in '03. Traded to Arizona in '06. Free agent New York. Free agent Washington. Hit sharply, but the second sacker Espinosa's positioned there for out number 1. He has bounced around, but through it all, he's won 171 games. Varmus turned on that 0-2 fastball last night and ripped it for a 2-run homer. Went up the middle for a hit. Another good night for Clint Varmus last night. 2 hits and 4 at-bats, 3 runs batted in for Clint to get him to those numbers for the season. Batting average up to .250. He's been on a climb for a while now. Varmus looks at ball 1.
Livan's pattern fairly consistent, trying to clip that outside corner with that first pitch fastball. He softens it up a little bit. It's hard to tell. There's not much difference between his fastball and his changeup. Change the grip, create a little movement, take a little off, put a little on.
1-2 to Varmus, who's hit .333 in his last 10 games.
The only thing you can be sure of, I think, is if you're up there in a 2-0-3-1 situation, you're not going to get a fastball.
Livan was 10-12 last year with a 3.66 ERA, working 211 innings. Line into right field. Varmus aboard with a single. 4-game hitting streak now for Clint.
Fastball up and out over the plate a little bit, and again a nice job of just directing that ball the other way. Usually that's a high fastball like that. Normally say, well, you don't want to go after that pitch. It's tough to handle. But Livan doesn't really throw particularly hard. That one clocked at 84 miles an hour, so you got a better chance of getting to that one than you would say off last night's starting pitcher, who was throwing 95.
Yeah,
Jordan Zimmerman.
Humberto Quintero had some big hits on this homestand. There's ball 1 to Q. Batting average .254. 1 homer. 12 runs batted in. On this homestand, he's 5 for 11. That homer came to right field, and he's driven in 3. 2 for 4 last night. He's driven in runs in 3 straight games for the first time in his career. It's 1-1. Last night he put down a bunt that worked for an RBI single. And the Astros got 4 in the 4th inning. That was the 4th straight hit of that rally. And after that, Michael Bourne had a 2-run double.
This wouldn't be a bad time to play a little hit and run. Stay out of the double play. Make sure you get Myers up to bat in this inning. Get that spot cleared, if nothing else. Feel pretty confident that Q can put Livan in play, and you're fearful of the ground ball double play.
Two balls and a strike.
And if you were inclined to do it, this would be the count.
Levon 6-2 with a 4.09 ERA here at Minute Maid Park.
In his career, 171 wins, 172 losses. A dozen double-digit win seasons.
Runner going, line drive, left field corner. Thomas will hit for third. Dave Park's going to windmill him home. RBI double. They did have him on the move, and Quintero responded with RBI number 13. That's his 7th double. Farmer scoring to make it 2-0 Astros.
A hit and run play a lot of times is a defensive play. You're trying to stay out of a double play, create some movement on the infield. Hugh just whacks this ball into the left field corner. Again, Hernandez making a mistake up in the zone, and the Astro hitters making him pay. First Barmes, now Quintero. Solid line drive double, and with Barmes on the move, he scores easily.
4 hits for the Astros. Brett Myers with 1 out, and Quintero at second base. We'll try to advance him. He has 5 hits and 36 at bats, a 139 average. Quintero's now 4 for 5 in his career against Levon Hernandez with a homer and 3 runs batted in. Michael Bourne's on deck.
Hernandez and Flores having a hard time getting together. The Astros now averaging a run per inning with Jose Altuve in the lineup. Remarkable impact he's had on this club.
Yes, he has. Small sample.
Oh, you're going to start with the small jokes now. Wow, it's cold. First day in the big leagues.
You know he's heard all that stuff before. Freddie Patek heard it. Harry Chappas heard it. Joe Morgan heard it. Nellie Fox. Ball 1 to Brett Myers. Dustin Pedroia heard it. Nub to first base. Morse. 2 outs. Quintero to third.
Randy Newman.
Michael Bourne. Michael hit a fly ball to left field in the first. The Astros are hitting .268 as a team at home, where they're 16-36. On the road, they hit .251. Both pitchers 4 of 9 on throwing first pitch strikes. Bourne takes the first pitch strike. There's 6 wins for Levon Hernandez. More at Minute Maid Park among those with 8 or fewer career games. It's a 1-1 count. And his highest winning percentage, .625 against the Astros with that 10-6 career record. His tops among all National League opponents.
It's all about deception with Levon. You saw that those pitch speeds topping out at 84, and then that real slow curveball.
Last year he lost to Bud Norris in Washington 8-2. Liner caught. And it goes for out number 3, but the Astros add a run on 2 hits. They strand a runner at third base. They lead it 2-0 after 2.
the wrong set.
There's a bogus one about sending him back to Round Rock.
Wee Willie Keeler, by the way, was 5-4. It's 2-0. Houston leads Washington. We go to the top of the third. Again, the Game Connect is operating. FoxSportsHouston.com is your gateway. And from this site, you can keep up with the game, some statistics, pitch counts, information on players. Plus, on the right side, you see that thing moving. That's the tweets. You can tweet through there, and we'll see them. Or you can also email. There's a little box up in the upper left-hand corner, which you can connect with us directly, and we'll reply. Some of them get on the air. It's a new way to follow the game while you're watching it. Keep yourself really busy. Back to you guys upstairs.
You can observe a lot by watching. Roger Bernardino with a grounder to third. Chris Johnson over to first. One pitch, one out for Brett Myers. And the speedy man does not reach base this time. He did with a walk in the first. He stole a base. He was stranded to third. Danny Espinosa worked the count full and then popped to third earlier. The Reds have scored in Pittsburgh. That's a story because they were shut out the last two games. They lead it 3-1, bottom of the seventh inning. And the first place Pirates are batting now in the bottom of the seventh, trailing 3-1. First place Pirates.
That rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Haven't said that in a while.
No. Ball one. Pirates right now have a lead over Milwaukee of a half game. St. Louis is a game and a half back, and Cincinnati trails by 5. Upstairs for ball 2 to Espinosa.
Espinosa, a switch hitter. The numbers are better from the right side, but he's shown good power from the left side. 12 of his 17 home runs coming as a left-handed batter. He was taking all the way there.
2-1 for Myers. Jeff Karstens is on the mound for the Pirates. Ripped into right field. Espinosa has a one-out single. He has 12 steals in 14 attempts. He's aboard for Zimmerman. Zimmerman came off the disabled list in mid-June. He's hit .223 since he came back after missing 58 games with a left abdominal tear. He is a key man for this Washington club, still trying to get it going. And strike one for Myers. Myers has won 90 major league games. He's lost 81.
3 or 4 guys in their lineup that use this same approach at the plate with the hands held high, pushed way out in front of their bodies as they stand in there, and then of course he'll pull them in, get him into a more traditional hitting position. But they have to travel quite a ways to get there. That could present some problems in terms of timing for a hitter.
To right field, Hunter Pence moving in a few steps. 2 outs for Myers. Myers' career ERA at Minute Maid Park is 3.25. Mike Morse nailed a line drive to left field, but it was caught by Carlos Lee. Johnny Cueto started for Cincinnati. He went 6 good innings today.
Got him.
Yes, he did. Espinosa's picked off by Myers to Wallace. No runs a hit, nobody left. The Astros lead it 2-0 in the middle of the third.
The steal of the season with the 10 for $20 plan. You get outfield deck tickets for 10 pre-selected games, only $2 a game. Tickets only available online, so buy yours at Astros.com. And I read that fast because he doesn't mess around when he's at the plate, and he'll be leading off. Billy.
Jose Altuve hit the first pitch in the air to the right fielder in his first major league at bat in the first inning. Even though he is listed at 5'7", he is an aggressive hitter, not the type of small player who takes a lot of walks.
And he's got some pop, too. He's not a slap hitter. He can drive the ball.
Started, and he checked the swing.
In stature, he reminds you a little bit of Trinidad Hubbard, who passed through here years ago, came up through the Astros organization. Not a real big guy, but built like a rock.
He was solid. 1-2 to Altuve.
Difference being, Hubby didn't get to the big leagues until he was 30. And Altuve's 21 years of age.
Altuve was telling me this year he's batted third most of the time, but the last couple of years he was a leadoff man. 2-2. Brad Mills had an idea. Had a couple of the coaches should take him out to second base and hit him some ground balls before the game. The Astros did not have batting practice on the field, so he did have just a brief session. Fly ball right center field and keel over.
First day in the big leagues, even though it's something you've done your whole life, it just has a different feel for it. It'll take a while for a young player to settle in. The game moves a little bit faster. You got so many nerves to deal with.
Brad related the story of when he was called up from AA to the Montreal Expos. He arrived during game one of a doubleheader at Olympic Stadium. It had been raining. He had never played a game on artificial turf. They took him out to the field between games to take some ground balls in the outfield on that turf, and then he started game two, and he thought that was helpful. Hunter Pence tripled and scored. Here's strike one. Hunter got hit number 118 of the season with that triple in the first inning. He's third in the league in base hits. It's 1-1.
Boy, you take a lot off of that one.
Yes, he can do that, can't he?
63 miles an hour.
Tough to stay back.
But unlike an Ephus pitch where you just lob the ball, I mean, he's got a lot of spin on that curveball. Otherwise, it would just hang there. It'd be a nothing pitch.
Before he made the big money in the major leagues, he was making $5 a month for the Cuban national team. Ooh, he thought he had that, but it's called ball three.
He relies on being able to clip those corners, and if he feels like he's getting squeezed, he's going to have to go to plan B and throw even more breaking balls.
His first full count brought ball four. Hunter was almost hit by that pitch, drawing his 25th walk of the year.
That pitch was slow enough where Hunter could change his mind twice. So that's a ball. I should let it hit me. No, it's ball four anyway. And then he pulled his arm out of the way.
Carlos Lee singled in a run. In the first inning, he hit a 2-1 pitch on a line into center field. Ivan Hernandez has been facing the Astros since '97, his rookie year with Florida, when he was the MVP of the NLCS and the World Series.
Talked about the difficulties Flores has had throwing post-surgery. But Levon is really quick to home plate. So it's not an easy steal to get with Levon out there. Matter of fact, it's just one better than an even proposition this year. 9 successful, 8 caught. Nope.
Oh.
Dude, you're killing me. Come on, man. We've been out of bed for a couple hours.
He was taking signs from the bench and got whacked with Carlos's bat. Carlos apologizing to him.
It's a good veteran move there to hit the catcher in the head with the bat and then steal the base.
It's 1-1. Well, with Bourne and Altuve at the top of the order, that's the way it is today anyway. The Astros have a chance to do more running than they have in the past. Sometimes Jason Bourgeois has been the number 2 hitter, and that's given them 2 speedy guys, but more often than not, the number 2 hitter has not been somebody who's regarded as a base stealer. Line drive, left field, goes foul. 1-2. First time Hernandez faced the Astros, he beat them in Florida 4-1 in August of '97, beating Chris Holt. Levon was an all-star in '04 and '05. Just one of those guys who grinds out the innings. 2-2. Had 8 complete games in '03 with Montreal, followed that up with 9 the next year, and in those 2 seasons he worked 233 innings in '03 and 255 in '04, then 246 the next year. 45 pitches. He can stay out for a lot of pitches. Line, and the diving play by the shortstop Cora. 2 outs. Alex Cora laid out for it.
We talked about his glove work earlier. That was a pretty play. Excellent timing. Ball wasn't hit all that hard, but still a tremendous play by Cora. And a good read by Hunter. And then Hunter he couldn't tell initially whether Cora caught the ball or not. So he was standing over there a few paces off first base with his arms up in the air saying, "Make a call, let me know."
Excellent work by Cora. Now here's Wallace. Wallace with strike 1. Brett grounded out in the first inning to second base. Levon Hernandez beat the Astros in Arizona in '07. He pitched an 11-hit complete game, giving up 4 runs, winning it 8-4. That's not atypical of his work either.
No, you really don't worry too much about the pitch count with Levon. Kind of a rubber arm, can stay out there a long time, and because he handles the bat so well, gets chances to stay in games where other pitchers would not.
True. He can be a real bullpen saver. Espinosa is very deep at second base, back on the grass a couple steps. It's 1-1 now to Wallace. Davey Johnson's club hanging right in pretty well, actually. Hoping to get Steven Strasburg in the rotation, maybe in September. One and two. There were some rumors the other night about Jason Marquis. Of course, all kinds of rumors about trades these days, but he's won 8 games now. But yet the Nationals are building a team that they hope will be vying for postseason honors as early as next year. So they may want to hang on to Marquis. Strike 3 call. Hernandez ends the 3rd inning with his first punch out of the day. It's no runs, no hits, and a man stranded. After 3, the Astros lead the Nationals 2-0. Morse, Worth, and Ankiel do up for the Nationals. Nationals on the road are 20-31. At home they're 28-18. Morse had a good swing of the bat in the first inning. Wrapped a line drive to left field. It was caught by Carlos Lee. This one's in the air, and Chris Johnson comes over for it.
Well, hit the roof.
Yeah, it sure must have. The way they're weaving for it. Yeah, it's not in play. If it hits the roof above foul territory, the ball is dead. If it hits the roof above fair territory, it remains in play.
Yeah, those are boring ground rules. I think any ball that's caught after hitting the roof is an out. Maybe even 2 outs. Just an automatic 2 outs. The ball. That's a heck of a play by Myers after the deflection.
It was. Hard to classify that as a double play ball, though.
Big strong guy hits it straight up the chute. Q looked like he got caught in a windstorm.
He did. In for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Morse. So Morse gets a reprieve in an outdoor stadium. He would have been out. And he's still out. Strikeout number 1 for Myers. Jason Worth comes up. He was at a 2-0 count and hit a fly ball to center.
I think the Nationals probably bemoaning the fact that they didn't get to Myers early. First couple innings, his command was not particularly sharp, and they had some chances. Had some dangerous hitters up there in favorable counts, and he threw pitches that they should have been able to do something with, did not, and now he's kind of found.
That's drilled to left center field. Michael Bourne backing for it. That's a long flyer, and it stays in play. Into second with a double is Worth, his 17th 2-base hit of the year.
Just getting ready to say that Myers has kind of hit his stride before I was rudely interrupted by that double by Worth. A little eye contact and a smile at Myers, his former mate.
He had a shot at a long ball here. Coming up just a few feet short. Hit number 4 for the Nats. Ankiel's hit a pop up to shortstop earlier. He looks at strike 1. Cleveland and Minnesota are tied 4-4. They've played 6 at Target Field. Twins won a walk-off last night. Farmas heads out into left center. Carlos Lee moves in. Lee has it, 2 outs. Jesus Flores will bat. It's a big game for the Twins as they, after getting drubbed in that doubleheader by the Tribe, can now split the 4-game series. They trail by 6. A 5-game deficit. Would be feeling pretty good for them right now. Cleveland and Detroit are tied for the lead in the AL Central at the moment.
It's funny how one game seemed like more than one game. 5 games back, that's not bad. 7 back seems like a much bigger number.
Curveball gets a strike for Myers. That makes it 0-2. Day off tomorrow for the Astros. Matt Downs should be rejoining the club in Chicago on Friday. He's been away on paternity leave. Chop to second base. Altuve in. Over to Wallace. No runs, a hit, and a man stranded. In the 4th inning. Now midway through, it's still 2-0 Houston. Bottom of the fourth inning is coming. Johnson, Barmas, and Quintero. Somewhere out there is Mindy DeLuey, and she refers to herself as Stroma, section 134. The little baby, Liam Zabawa. And there's a line drive to left center field. A hit for Chris Johnson. That's the way the home fourth inning gets started. Whole row of Astro-clad folks somewhere down there. We were looking for them. And they would be enjoying that swing of the bat by CJ, with Barmas coming up next. Barmas singled to right on a 1-2 pitch in the second, and he rode home on a Quintero hit and run double. Phillies 5, Cubs nothing there in the top of the second inning in Chicago. It was a tough one for the Cubs last night. They had a 2-0 lead. Matt Garza was really dealing, but Cliff Lee was able to hang in, and the Phillies won it late over the Cubs.
The Cubs had a chance to go back-to-back and beat Halladay and Cliff Lee.
Worth is moving in right center field for this one.
I'm guessing that hasn't been done very much this year.
Probably not. One down. Quintero ripped that double, driving in Barmas into the left field corner in the second inning. So the Phillies leading it now 5-0 in the top of the second at Chicago, and they just continue to look terrific with a .625 winning percentage. 60-36. They have a 3.5 game edge on Atlanta. And Brad Litch should be about back for them. He's been on a rehab assignment in the minors.
It's Vance Worley for the Phillies today. Boy, he's been nice, a nice addition with the injury to Oswalt.
He sure has.
And Ryan Dempster has given up 5 runs in an inning and 2/3. He had been on a pretty good roll.
Yeah. Strike call to Quintero. That evens the count at 1-1. Let's see the probables. No, we still don't have the Cubs probables for the weekend, do we?
No, but I think it's going to be Zambrano, Wells, and Lopez.
Okay. For the Astros, Norris, Rodriguez, and Lyles. Time called. And Lyles will be returning to the scene of his major league debut when he pitched so well at Wrigley. There we have our projected starters.
Don't hold us to it.
No.
They changed. We don't want to be responsible.
You can find the game on My 20, though, Friday at 1 o'clock, then Saturday and Sunday back on FS Houston for day baseball all weekend. That one's hit well into left center field, but Bernardino moves over. 2 outs.
It'll be smoking in Chicago.
90s?
Yeah, I think so.
Brett Myers grounded out in the second inning. Well, maybe a little dip in the lake before the game might cool us off.
Might have to do the game from the press lounge. A little AC going on in there.
You've come up with an excellent idea. That's strike one to Myers. Probably wouldn't be your top weekend for being in the bleachers if it's going to be in the 90s, right?
No, but that's a different breed out there.
That's true. You'd be shirtless if you were out there, of course, this time of year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Or tank top, maybe.
I'm thinking about one of those green bodysuits.
Fouled away, and it's 1-2. Haven't seen those.
It's 97 degrees in Chicago right now.
Oh, that's brutal. Where do you get those green bodysuits?
Vancouver.
Okay. I'll have to send out for one. Strike 3 call. Strikeout number 2 for Livan Hernandez. No runs a hit and a man stranded. After 4, it's 2-0 Astros.
Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax. Also by AT & T, rethink possible. And by your local Texas Ford dealer. Action moves to the 5th. Astros lead it 2-0. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays in the booth.
Thank you, Greg. Brad Myers on the mound with that 2-0 lead. Jose Altuve will be due up second in the bottom half of the inning. For those of you who are following his major league debut, it'll be the 9-hitter due up second, Livan Hernandez, as Alex Cora is leading it off. So the bottom of the order here, 8, 9, and 1 for the Nats against Myers in the 5th. Cora got on with a hit up the middle, deflected off the glove of we think Myers, and then the shortstop Barmas into right center field, his first time up. That's ball 1. Myers had regrouped after the first inning and had thrown 9 of 12 first pitch strikes until that one. Now it's even at 1-1. Last night, Jay Happ reached the win column. He went 5 2/3. 5 relievers followed him to the mound in the 7-6 Astros win. 1-2. Wesley Wright has rejoined the Astros, as you probably know, for this series. He hasn't pitched yet. Fernando Rodriguez will be getting a day off today, Brad Mills said. That's line foul. Dropping the bat on a curveball. Cora keeps the count at 1-2. Fernando's pitched in 4 of the last 5. And Sergio Escalona's pitched in a few now, so he may or may not be available today. But Wesley Wright, the other lefty, the Astros still have a guy they can use. Fouled away.
They got a chance to win a series. All hands on deck.
That's true. Day off coming tomorrow. Last home series win for the Astros came against the Dodgers back on May 23rd through the 25th. Well, that's 2 months ago. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Astros had a 3-3 homestand from April 26th through May 1st against St. Louis and Milwaukee. That's the only homestand Brad Mills' club has had with at least a .500 record this year.
And the kind of year that induces a lot of rocking by the manager in the dugout. Had a little bit of the Leo Mazzoni thing going on.
Seven pitches here to Cora as Myers works to the number 8 hitter.
Good sinker down, get a ground ball. Whoop. Trying to leave on esque curveball and just left it up a little bit.
Sure was. 3-2 now for Myers. Cora played for the Mets and Rangers last year. He's from Puerto Rico. Went to the University of Miami, brother of Joey Cora. That one got in on him. Taps it out to Altuve. 1 out.
It is time now for the AT&T Trivia Question du jour. Now, national pitcher Tyler Clippard was the winning pitcher for the National League in the All-Star game. Who was the last pitcher from Washington to win the All-Star game? Now, no Expos,
boy.
and it could be Senators, but it's the last pitcher from Washington to win the All-Star game.
Oh, boy.
Walter Johnson.
That is wrong. And
Pedro Ramos.
all right, now I'll give you a clue. All that stuff I was setting up was leading you astray.
Uh-oh. All right, lead us astray.
Don't go back that far.
Okay, don't go back that far.
No.
All right, so somebody with the current Texas Rangers franchise in, right? Dick Bosman.
No, you don't have to go back that far either.
Oh, okay.
A Washington team.
Yeah.
Not a team born in Washington. Can't be a Twin or a
Okay,
Ranger.
as I said, I led you astray on purpose. No, this team. This Washington Nationals team.
Line shot by Livan Hernandez. Carlos Lee will have to play it off the wall. Hernandez will take a big turn and hold on with a long single on a well-hit ball for his 6th hit of the year.
It has to be last year then.
I'll give you last year. Who was it? Do you remember? He's not on this team anymore.
Boy.
The winning pitcher in the All-Star game last year for the National League was a Washington National.
Last year. Yes.
Last year.
Yeah.
Mack was on this team last year. Wasn't Strasburg.
No.
No. It was a reliever.
Oh.
Not your Bernardina
Just
bat.
like Clippard.
Yeah.
And Cordero.
No.
No.
He was their closer last year.
His last name.
How about Caps?
Yeah,
There we go.
Matt Capps.
that's a weak bell there. I'm not sure if that deserved a bell.
Really didn't. Brett Wallace to Barmas and back to Myers, but it's not in time for a double play. It's a 3-6 force out on Hernandez.
Almost looked like Brett would have been able to tag Livan in the backside.
Yeah.
But apparently that was not the case. So he made the throw to second base. Very difficult double play to convert with a speedy guy like Bernardina. Now, I think he could have tagged him.
Might have been able to.
Here it is, the official answer. Matt Capps last year. So the National League hadn't won an All-Star game forever, but once they got those Nationals in there to pitch in relief, that was the big key. They won two in a row.
Espinosa single to right field in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. And the oddity about Tyler Clippard's win this year was that he did not retire a batter, but he was a winning pitcher. Gave up a hit by Adrian Beltre to Hunter Pence, and then Pence made a throw to home plate to retire a runner. So that was the out that Clippard got, and he became the winning pitcher.
Yeah, there was. I tried to do Astro connections, and I should have thrown that in there. But yeah, there was an Astro connection to that.
Clippard will be able to tell his grandkids that he was the winning pitcher in the All-Star game. And when they ask for details, he said, don't bother with the details. Just know that Gramps was the winning pitcher.
1-0 to Espinosa.
I gave up a perfectly placed single.
Yeah.
And Hunter threw out Jose Bautista trying to score from second base. Q drew the arm back, took a look down at first. Bernardina back. It's 2-0.
Well, if I'm Bernardina, I'm going to stay put right here on 2-0. Give Espinosa a chance to take a big swing at a 2-0 pitch. And then if the count goes to 2-1, then I'm thinking about trying to steal this base with his speed.
Yeah. He stole in the 1st inning.
See, I don't understand Espinosa's, got 17 bombs. I think he should be looking to swing the bat there on 2-0.
Yeah. But he was taking.
I just don't get it.
Maybe he doesn't get it. 2 balls and a strike.
Could be a young player thinking a little too much.
Yeah. Big rip there makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes, but Bernardino was not going. Red Sox 4, Orioles nothing. They're already in the top of the 8th at Baltimore. Jacoby Ellsbury's gone deep twice to give him 15 home runs.
Now, if you're a 2-hole hitter, like a lot of 2-hole hitters in the league that doesn't have power, it makes perfect sense to take that 2-0 pitch. But he's a different cat. This guy's, as I mentioned, has 17 home runs.
As many as Michael Morse. .55 runs batted in, leads the Nationals. Even though he's batting second. Runner going here, swing and a miss. The throw from Quintero is not necessary because it's a strikeout to end the top of the 5th. No runs, a hit. A man stranded. Middle of the 5th inning, 2-0. Houston.
hometown hero was honored. David Fanton is the man. He's a philanthropist and competitive amateur baseball player. He threw out the first pitch, but what he was here for was to help publicize something that's coming up on July 22nd. That is Ariel Leal, a 9-year-old who has brain cancer and undergoing treatment at Texas Children's Hospital. And Fenton has organized the second annual Midnight Madness Marathon Charity Baseball Games. That will be on July 22nd at Faith West Academy in Katy, Texas. The Astros want to congratulate David for what he is trying to do to help and hope that fans will take part and help as well. Brownie, back to you.
Thank you. We just saw the bunt single by Michael Bourne. Very well placed. He beat the throw from Zimmerman for his 9th bunt hit of the year. And now Jose Altuve comes around for the 3rd time. Michael, with 26 infield hits, is the major league leader. Altuve has hit the ball in the air both times, to right field on the first pitch in the 1st inning and to center on a 2-2 count in the 3rd in his major league debut today. Cora and Espinosa are a double play depth with nobody out. That was hit number 6 for the Astros. The Nationals have 5. Altuve looks at ball 1. Altuve was born in Maracay, Venezuela. Signed in September of 06 as a non-drafted free agent. And he's hit everywhere he's played. Showing bunt that time, he takes, and it's ball 2. Had a very good futures game in Phoenix with a couple of hits. And he also turned a couple of double plays in that game. His last game for Corpus Christi, that was Monday against Midland. He homered and drove in 3, going 2 for 5 in that one.
Talked about Levon's unwillingness to give in fastball counts, but Altuve might get something to swing at right here.
Brad Mills has talked with AA Corpus Christi manager Tom Lawless about Altuve, and Brad remembers quite a bit of Altuve in spring training from last year. Didn't play that much this year, but you saw enough of him to appreciate his talents. He compares him to Harry Chappis.
Just because he's short?
I guess just the style of play. Thinks they're similar styled players. Bourne is going, and it's fouled. 2-1.
That Harry had any pop?
Don't recall. Brady Patek had some pop, didn't he?
A little bit. Sometimes minor league pop doesn't translate to big league pop.
Well, that's right. Joe Morgan had plenty of pop.
Yeah. Harry Chappis had 184 major league at bats, hit 1 home run, and batted .245.
Fly ball to center. Ankiel backing on it. Yeah, Michael is tagging up, and he'll go to second. Ankiel has a good arm, but a little bit wide on that throw, and it's out number 1, but it advances the runner. Well, Altuve's hit the ball in the air all 3 times today.
Michael a little bit late getting back to tag, but his speed was the difference maker. Harry Chappis in his minor league career was a lifetime .260 hitter with 21 home runs and almost 3,000 at bats. So aside from the similar size, Altuve profiles as a much better offensive player.
Patek, 41 homers and 5,530 at bats.
Yeah.
Okay. Pence has a triple and a walk. He scored a run in the first after that triple. Carlos Lee driving him in. This one a foul pop. Morse is over for the catch. 2 outs. Carlos Lee bats. He drove in that run in the first inning with a single, then he lined a shortstop in the third. We do have the official Cubs starters for the weekend. Carlos Zambrano Friday, Randy Wells Saturday, and Matt Garza Sunday. Garza threw the ball exceptionally well in his last start. Last night. Ball one to lead. The Astros go into Chicago. At the present time, they trail the Cubs by 6.5 games in the standings. Cubs in 5th, the Astros in 6th in the NL Central. Well, to cut into that, they swept the 3-game series at Wrigley Field earlier this year, and they're 4-2 against the Cubs.
Now, one of their best games of the year when they had that ferocious rally against Carlos Marmol.
Sure was.
If you're a hitting coach and you're looking for work, you can contact Don Mattingly. Dodgers have fired Jeff Pentland, who was their hitting coach.
Line, and Cara's there for the catch. Again on Lee. No runs, a hit. Runner stranded. After 5, 2-0 Houston.
In 2003, it was a big day for Jeff Bagwell as he went deep twice. The Astros beat the Reds 6-3, and in that game, Jeff became the 35th player in Major League history to reach the 400 home run mark. His career ended with 449, as we all know, when the shoulder injuries became too much to continue. This day in Astros history. Brownie?
Thanks, Craig. It's 2-0 Astros. The Nationals come up in the 6th inning against Brett Myers. Zimmerman, Morse, and Worth due to bat. Zimmerman's 0 for 2. Strike one for Myers. He's thrown 67 pitches. 12 of 21 first pitch strikes now for Brett.
Slider away, then a little running fastball in on the knuckles, establishing both sides of the plate.
Finals in from Pittsburgh. The Reds won it 3-1 after being shut out in the first 2 games at PNC Park. Johnny Cueto, the winner, now is 6-3. Jeff Karsten's lost it. He's 8-5. Coco Cordero got save number 19. It's 1-2. Karsten's just gave up 1 earned run.
Why? But I'm just dying to watch an episode of the Waltons.
The Waltons.
Must be the W on the helmet.
Okay.
Good night, Zimbob.
How long do you think it's been since you watched an episode of the Waltons? A couple of decades?
At least.
No wonder you want to see it. 2-2. There were 2 errors by Chase Darno, leading to a couple of unearned runs, and that tagged Karstens with the loss.
Darno didn't play yesterday. He had a stiff neck or something. Some kind of injury.
2 hopper to shortstop. Barmas takes care of Zimmerman. 1 out. Michael Morse lined to left field, and he struck out. Jason Bourgeois had a couple of hits last night for Oklahoma City, playing at Albuquerque, going 2 for 5 with an RBI. And that was his first rehab game at AAA and his 6th overall. Played 3 games at Gulf Coast Rookie League and then 2 at AA Corpus Christi. He'll be playing again tonight at Albuquerque for Oklahoma City. Johnson diving to his left. No throw. Morse reaches on an infield hit. Hit number 6 for the Nats.
Not a very patient bunch of these Nationals. They come up there hacking. Morris tries to squirt this one through the hole. Johnson able to corral it, but not able to get to his feet in time to make a throw. What's that, 7 hits in the series for Morris?
Yes, I believe so. Worth doubled to left center in the 4th inning. Now he drives one deep, and that is a 2-run homer to tie the game. Home run number 11 for Worth, and it's 2-2 as he now has 33 runs batted in. 2 extra base hits in this game.
He jumped on a first pitch fastball last time when he hit that double to left field. And maybe the thinking of Myers and Quintero was, well, he's not going to be looking for that first pitch fastball here, so we'll sneak one by him to get ahead of him. Because this was an aggressive pitch right over the heart of the plate, and Worth certainly was ready for it. Well, we got a tie ball game.
24th long ball allowed by Myers. And it is 2-2 as the Nationals come back.
Brett had only allowed 1 home run in his last 3 starts.
Rick Ankiel with strike 1. Worth and Michael Bourne were tied in runs batted in when this game started.
I want to jinx Myers here, but Ankiel's swing is a little ugly here this afternoon. Yep, he did it.
Line shot. You have a Hunter Pence unable to hold on to it. It looked like he was going to catch it, but he couldn't hang on as he got his glove on it. Vicious line drive by Ankiel. Yeah, that was a lot better swing.
I knew it as I was thinking that. He's gonna lay out a rope here.
So infield hit, 2-run homer. Line drive off Hunter Pence's glove.
Had it, couldn't hang on as he went down. Tough play, sinking line drive. Ankiel a threat to steal. Got to keep an eye on him.
Jesus Flores singled in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 2. It was ruled a hit. That's a strike for Myers on Flores. Milwaukee can move back into first in the NL Central by winning at Arizona tonight with the Pirates losing. Chris Narveson goes for the Brewers tonight against Joe Saunders. They're now tied for the lead. No balls, 2 strikes with St. Louis just a game back. Cardinals are in New York later tonight. Kyle McClellan with a 6-6 record opposes R.A. Dickey. He's 4-8.
Cardinals kind of scuffling along.
They really have been. They have some issues. Pitching hasn't been very good. Swing and a miss by Flores. Throw to first base. Pretty close there as the strikeout takes care of out number 2. That's the 3rd strikeout for Myers. And Ankiel beat the tag from Red Wallace.
Great timing here by Q on the swing and the miss. The base runner with the swing starts to lean. You know, he's anticipating contact. He wants to get as good a jump as possible. So that's a great time to make that throw. And it looked like he was out.
Really close. Marty Foster. Cora is 1 for 2. Got a hit off Clint Barmes' glove up the middle. Throw to first again. He's diving back in again.
That's another good time to do it, though, when the ball's in the dirt, because that's another time where a base runner is looking to take advantage. Keel might be thinking, I'm just going to try to steal here. I'm tired of having to avoid getting picked off. I'd rather get caught stealing than picked off.
Ross Detweiler and Henry Rodriguez warming up in the bullpen. Now the pitch gets by, and Ankiel will trot to second base on a wild pitch.
You're working like crazy to pick off Ankiel, and then the wild pitch gives him an easy pass into second base.
5th wild pitch of the season for Myers. Pitcher spot is due up next. Livan Hernandez is in the on-deck circle with those two guys warming up we mentioned. Detweiler started the game, but he's considered to be the long man, the lefty there, and Henry Rodriguez throws in triple digits.
Does he really? Wow.
That's what we were hearing.
Wow. Be quite an adjustment after Livan.
Yeah, it would. 3-0. Red Sox 4, Orioles nothing. Bottom of the 9th. Jonathan Papelbon is in the game.
Didn't he just green light Cora here? I was just thinking along those lines.
Yeah.
A little slider in there for strike 1 on 3-0.
Andrew Miller started that game for the Red Sox. He went 5 2/3. Popped up. Barmes has the angle on it. In the 6th inning, 2 runs scored to tie the game for the Nationals on the Worth home run. 2 runs on 3 hits with a man stranded. It's tied at 2. Up in the bottom half as those youngsters group themselves according to T-shirts.
2, 4, 6, 8. Pitcher's got a bellyache. No, they've broken that one out this afternoon.
Oh, a few times. Brett Wallace grounded out, and he struck out looking. In the air, foul, and out of play. Strike one.
You want a pitcher, not a belly itcher.
Livan Hernandez has thrown 70 pitches. He's due to lead off the 7th inning. Wallace swings at that one, and the pitch moves. No balls, 2 strikes.
He's made some good pitches to Wallace this afternoon. That little sinker running down and away, and then the changeup with the same arm slot. It takes a little bit off of it. Not a great difference between his fastball and his changeup.
Foul ball keeps the count at 0-2.
And that's what's really impressive about Livan, because in his prime he wasn't a real hard thrower anyway, probably 88, 89 miles an hour. But as that fastball has lost velocity, he's managed to still be an effective pitcher. And usually that's tough to do when the changeup and the fastball velocity start to get really close. It's tough to fool hitters. But he gets good movement. He has good breaking stuff and great control.
He has aged gracefully.
And not to mention just a great feel for what he's doing out there.
Wallace fouls it. Jason Castro is headed for Florida after the game today. He'll be continuing his recovery from knee surgery at the Astros complex in Kissimmee. He's been taking batting practice on the field the last couple of days. Still a 1-2 count. The Astros have a situation there with rehab specialists and trainers in Kissimmee. Gulf Coast League playing games, but there are other guys, and Jason Bourgeois was just there, who are working on getting back from the disabled list. Bounce foul. And they've talked. I was asking Rex Jones about that, the assistant athletic trainer, because Brad Mills had mentioned, other teams do that. They send a guy who's injured to a Florida complex where they can specifically concentrate on just getting healthy again. So that's the purpose for doing it that way, rather than keeping them with the major league club. Outside the left field line, being chased. Zimmerman is over into foul ground, unable to get there. The situation you have with injured players traveling with a major league club, and we've seen a lot of that over the years, sometimes it happens, is that the players who are on the 25-man roster need some treatment, and the guys who are injured also need to be treated. So it gets to be a lot for the major league trainers to accomplish all of that in one day sometimes.
Get a little crowded in that training room.
It does. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout. 1 out. Third strikeout for Livan Hernandez.
And he's had Wallace kind of twisted in knots this afternoon. Got him looking at a fastball last time. This time chasing the changeup.
As you can see on Exmo, Chris Johnson singled to left center in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. That was a 9-pitch strikeout. Livan had to work for it. Now with this series against Washington, the Astros have to play one more team they have not yet faced, the Giants. 2 series remaining with them. Ryan Zimmerman takes care of the 2nd out. Wouldn't necessarily want to play the Giants right now, the way they're geared up. Wow.
Now that they got Jeff Keppinger, they're really going to go.
Well, you're right. They had said they wanted him to get there in time for today's game, but it's a day game. Good luck with that.
But it's a West Coast day game.
Yes,
He should be able to be there.
Yeah. Clint Barber singled and scored in the 2nd inning. And hit a fly ball to right. Giants with a 4.5 game lead now over Arizona. The Giants are 30-16 at home. And they've won 8 of their last 10 games overall. They're really threatening to put more space between themselves and the D-backs. Colorado's 10.5 back.
Giants doing it the way they did it last year with outstanding pitching. Offensively, no great shakes. Down towards the bottom of the league and runs scored. Part of that is the ballpark, but a lot of hitters in their lineup that really aren't having good years.
That's true. They really do have. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pablo Sandoval is hitting well. Aubrey Huff has not been able to match his season that he had last year. Pat Burrell's been hurt. Andres Torres was out for a while. He's back now. Had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. Line shot to right field. In for a hit for Barmas. 2 more hits for Clint in this game. It's been a really nice trend for him, and it's been going on for a few weeks. So not just a good week in the season. He's been able to put enough outstanding games together that it seems that he has really turned the corner on his hitting this year.
That base hit very similar to his first one. He got a high fastball and shot it the other way. Because of the off-speed stuff, you want to stay back. And he's done a nice job of that today.
Quintero has an RBI double. Barmas was running on that pitch, and that was in the 2nd inning with Clint at first and 1 out. Steve McCatty is the pitching coach, and the bullpen phone is ringing. Levon's thrown 84 pitches, 56 have been strikes.
It's a thing of beauty. He is due to lead off the next inning, but the Nationals want to have somebody ready to deal with a pinch hitter for Myers, who's on deck.
Ryan Bogusevic is 2 for 2 against Hernandez. Bouncer to second. It goes on 2 hops to Espinoza. In the 6th inning, it's no runs, a hit. A man is stranded, and it's tied 2-2 after 6.
Now you can score 6 games for the price of 5 with the Astros Summer Steel 6-game flex plan. What you do is you buy 5 games and get the 6th free. Plans are available in multiple seating sections and start at only $35. Buy yours today at Astros.com. By the way, I did look it up. Jeff Keppinger is listed as a player off the bench today, but he is not in the starting lineup in San Francisco.
Very good. They're warming up to start that game. Thank you for that, Greg. Tim Lincecum pitching against Clayton Kershaw.
Boy, you'd want him in there against Kershaw.
That's true.
The way he hits lefties.
156 for pinch hitter Matt Stairs, batting for Levon Hernandez. He's driven in a couple. He's had 64 at bats. As a pinch hitter, he is 6 for 38 with an RBI. 43-year-old veteran, born in Canada. He looks at strike one. He came up with the Montreal Expos.
43-year-old Canadian pinch hitting for a 36-year-old Cuban. It's a beautiful game.
Yes, it is. It's a 1-1 count to Stairs, who's 1 RBI shy of 900 for his career. Had a game-ending pinch RBI single off the right field wall against Pittsburgh on July 1st. Takes a strike there, and it's 1-2. He is the all-time leader for Major League Baseball in pinch homers with 23.
1 out of 4 in his career against Myers.
Foul ball there. If he hits a homer for the Nationals, Stairs will have homered for a Major League record 12 different clubs. Todd Zeile is tied with him. Home runs for 11 clubs right now. Foul ball keeps it at 1-2. Stairs from St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. He was on the 1988 Canadian Olympic team. Won the batting title in the Mexican League.
Oh yeah, he was a legend down there in Mexico.
It's 2-2 to Matt Stairs.
And that's back before they let major leaguers play in the Olympics, right? 88. It was all amateur stuff.
That's right. In 98, he had pinch homers in 5, or he had home runs in 5 straight games, not pinch homers. Struck him out looking. Number 4 for Brett Myers.
Dispatching a dangerous hitter with a good backdoor slider. Trying to think along with Brett Myers as he stood in the on-deck circle in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And I've been in that position before, and you're almost wishing the guy ahead of you makes an out, because you know if he reaches, you're going to be pinch hit for. And you want a little more. You want to go back out there and compete some more.
Roger Bernardino looks at strike 1. 0 for 2 with a walk.
If the guy comes up hitting for you and jacks one out of the ballpark, you're okay. I can live with that. That doesn't happen very often, though.
No. In the air, and Michael Bourne in center field positions himself for out number 2. Danny Espinosa will follow. Myers is due to lead off the last of this inning. A good game for Brett today. Had a 2-0 lead, but Worth hit a 2-run homer in the 6th to tie it. Myers has thrown 92 pitches. Brett's last win was at Los Angeles. It was the last series win for the Astros. He got the victory on June 17th. Ball 1 there, and you see the details on the pitch count. Two balls, no strikes. Emmanuel Burris is starting at second base today for the Giants against the Dodgers.
Here's Espinosa again, 2-0. Last time he was up there 2-0 with a man on, and he took a fastball right down the middle. Not only did he take it, but he was taking all the way. This time looked like he was ready to swing, but the ball slid off the outside corner.
Espinosa takes a stroll. He's on for the second time today. He was picked off in the 3rd inning. Ryan Zimmerman's 0 for 3. Zimmerman has 2 ground outs to shortstop and a fly ball to right field. Nationals have several players with strong college credentials, including Espinosa, who's a Long Beach Stater, and Zimmerman.
It was a UVA, wasn't he?
Yep. Strike 1. Phillies 7, Cubs nothing, bottom of the 4th. No hits for Chicago through 4 off Vance Worley. Slowly hit. Altuve tracking it, tossing and getting him with a good play. Had to cover a lot of territory. No runs, no hits. A man stranded. Middle of the 7th. It's tied at 2. The fans enjoy their stretch. Our call to the pen is brought to you by Verizon. And Verizon shows you the right-hander, Henry Rodriguez. An extreme hard thrower. He's warming up. And Brian Bogusevic will be the first man he'll face. He's 3-2 with a 2.94 ERA and 36 strikeouts in 33 2/3 innings.
Has not yet surrendered a long ball in those 33+ innings. League hits 220 against him. He's walked 20 though, so patience might be a prudent approach. Came up with the Oakland Athletics. A power arm indeed, averaging better than 98 miles an hour with his heater.
Averaging.
Throws his changeup 90 miles an hour. Also has a hard slider as well. My goodness.
It's going to be interesting to watch today. Brian Bogusevic is the pinch hitter for Brett Myers.
A real big guy standing a 6 foot even is Henry Rodriguez.
Bogusevic with a 200 average, 7 hits and 35 at bats.
Ooh, yeah, high octane, way up above the hands.
Bogusevic is 5 for 20 with an RBI as a pinch hitter.
Going to turn that heater around. You got to get it down.
One and one for Henry Rodriguez. Myers in 7 innings allowed the Nationals 8 hits, 2 runs. He walked 2, fanned 4. Ivan Hernandez in 6 innings allowed 7 hits, 2 runs, walking 1, fanning 3. That's in left center field. Bernardina, though, is able to get there for out number 1. Looked like it would fall in, but that's the speedy left fielder making the catch.
Off the bat, I thought that was headed towards the gap, but down towards the end of the bat, I think it had a little slicing action. Bernardina able to close quickly.
Last appearance for Henry Rodriguez was Sunday in Atlanta. He gave up 3 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings. Michael Bourne bunted for a hit in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Jose Altuve is on deck. Ryan Zimmerman creeping in at 3rd. It's strike 1 for Rodriguez. Rodriguez was born in Venezuela. 24 years old. Oakland signing him as a free agent in 03, trading him last December for Josh Willingham. 1-1 now. Willingham is one of the bats rumored to be on the trade block among the hitters who might be sought by contending clubs. Ryan Ludwig of the Padres is another. Carlos Beltran of the Mets is another. Espinosa takes care of the second out, and now Jose Altuve.
It'd be interesting to see what the Mets do with Beltran. He's having a nice year, an all-star, and clearly the class of the field of the bats that seem to be available as the trade deadline nears. Everything I'm reading is the Mets are they're asking for a ton for him.
Yeah,
somebody may blink and give it to him.
Altuve is 0 for 3 in his major league debut. He's hit 3 fly balls. Back, strike one to Altuve. It's two natives of Venezuela.
National pride at stake here, Brownie.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about Altuve having a little pop in his bat for a small guy, and Rodriguez the same, just 6 feet tall, but it's an outstanding fastball.
Breaking pitch for ball one. Bullpen has been solid this year for the Nationals. 20 wins, 15 losses. An ERA of 3.27, but a lot of blown saves. One and two. The closer, Drew Storen, though, has been fine in his save percentage.
Outfield is playing Altuve the other way. Bernardino way off the line and left, and Keel shaded towards right center. Worth a step or two towards the line and shallow.
On the way, still 1 and 2 to Altuve. Javier Lopez is the only National League pitcher to have pitched more innings than Henry Rodriguez without giving up a homer. He gets a strikeout. And it's a 1-2-3 seventh for Henry Rodriguez. Moving to the 8th inning, it's tied 2-2. Out of the Houston bullpen. Various headgear in the seats at Minute Maid Park today. We don't have the paid attendance yet, do we, JD?
I don't.
Still waiting for that. Anario Del Rosario comes out of the Astros bullpen with that 0-2 record of 4.35 ERA to face the Nationals in the 8th inning. Morse, Worth, and Ankiel due up. Michael Morse is 1 for 3. Got an infield hit in the 6th inning. He looks at strike one from Del Rosario.
Good low sinking fastball to get things started. Another solid effort by Myers here this afternoon. Can't win, can't lose. 7 innings, 2 runs allowed on 8 base hits. His old teammate Worth, not for that home run ball. He'd have a shutout going.
Yeah, the infield hit by Morse preceded the 2-run homer by Worth, and that tied it. Sergio Escalona is warming up right now as the count goes to 1-2. Very good work by Myers today. Pence, Lee, and Wallace are due up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Crack bad liner caught by CJ. 1 out. Del Rosario pitched scoreless baseball on Sunday against Pittsburgh for 1/3 of an inning, giving up 1 hit.
Good movement, moving off the sweet spot in towards the hands, cracks the bat. Soft line drive. Good start to the 8th for EDR. Real rugged stretch. He has turned things back around. He's been throwing the ball pretty well lately.
Throws strike one to Worth, who in addition to the 2-run homer in the 6th, which tied the score, he has a double. EDR has pitched scoreless baseball for his last 7 outings, covering 7 innings. It's 1-1. Earlier this season, he had a scoreless inning streak of 12 2/3. Right-handed hitters are hitting .255 against Del Rosario. Lefties .339. Fouled away, 1-2. So Escalona warming up with the lefty hitting Ankiel on deck. Myers threw 100 pitches, 62 for strikes. Two-hopper Barmas going to the 2nd out. Ankiel had the single in the 6th inning to right field. He's 1 for 3 now. Doug Roquel is trotting to the mound. Ivan Hernandez threw 86 pitches, 58 of them for strikes. The Astros will travel to Washington in early September for the series there. Ball 1. Andrew Miller and the Red Sox blank the Orioles 4-0 on a 2-hitter. Von Miller and some relievers. This was Jake Arrieta.
Good sinker there. The Red Sox won what, 15 out of 17 or something like that.
Something like that. Now they began the day a game and a half in front of the Yankees. And Tampa Bay has fallen 7 back. Barmas goes out Ankiel. Very good 8th inning for Del Rosario. Pence, Lee, and Wallace are getting ready to hit in the bottom half, trying to break the 2-2 tie.
MLB.com at-bat 11 app on your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at-bat to 31826 or visit Astros.com for details.
Thank you, Greg. It's Pence, Lee, and Wallace due up. Bottom of the 8th inning against Henry Rodriguez in relief of Livan Hernandez. Pence tripled in the first inning. He scored on a Lee single as the Astros grabbed a 1-0 lead. They made it 2-0 on a Humberto Quintero hit and run double in the second inning. Clint Barmas, who had singled, scored on that. And then the tying 2-run homer by Jason Worth came in the 6th inning off Brett Myers. 2-2 now as Pence steps up in the last of the 8th. Flores, Cora, and the pitcher's spot are due up in the Nationals' 9th inning. It's ball 1 to Pence.
Going from Livan to Rodriguez, it's kind of like going from watching harness racing to thoroughbreds. Slow stuff to 98-mile-an-hour cheddar.
Both can be enjoyable. 2 balls, no strikes. But yeah, this is high-octane stuff from Henry Rodriguez. First time he's faced the Astros in his career. Two balls and a strike. Dodgers and Giants 0-0. Bottom of the 2nd inning in San Francisco. Breaking pitch in the dirt makes it 3 balls and a strike now to Hunter Pence.
Hunter sold out on that 2-0 fastball. Ball was out of the zone, but you got to get it started early to catch up to this kind of heat. So I would imagine he's thinking along those lines here too. You still have a strike to play with.
Full count.
And just a perfect pitch there. Didn't try to fool him with a breaking ball, but he didn't give in to the heart of the plate either. Good down and away fastball.
I went way upstairs to foul that one back.
It was just a reach back for a little something extra and lose command of the pitch.
Ankiel is in right center, and Bernardina is way off the left field line. Ball 4. Pence draws the leadoff walk here in the 8th.
Anything close Hunter was probably offering, but that one not close at all. The caddy letting them know, hey, he can run a little bit. You got to keep an eye on him.
Carlos Lee will be the batter. He's 1 for 3. An RBI single and 2 line drives to shortstop. Carlos has bounced into 7 double plays this season. In the stolen base department, Hunter Pence is 7 for 7. Now Davey Johnson's coming out, or Steve McCaddy looks like.
Action in the Nationals pen as a righty starting to loosen up. It's Clippard. The winning pitcher in the All-Star game.
This year?
Unbelievably, back-to-back years the Nationals have had the winning pitcher in the All-Star game. Matt Capps and Tyler Clippard.
That's crazy.
Well, that's something we've learned today.
Yes, it is.
Visit perhaps to buy some time for Clippard. Also a reminder that Pence can run a little bit.
Flores has not done much catching for the Nationals this season. He is 0 for 4 and throwing out base stealers. Pudge Rodriguez is helping. That's Pat Corrales, the bench coach. Longtime Braves coach. And Pudge looking at something there. Double play setup for the infielders, Cora and Espinoza. That's strike one.
Melanson getting ready in the Astros bullpen. Slider, be ready for the ball in the dirt.
It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
No chance to advance. Flores not only able to block that ball, but he picked it on a short hop.
Astros got 3 runs in the 8th inning Saturday night when they beat Pittsburgh 6-4, winning that one in their final at bat. And with a shot at doing that again today. One of those 8th inning final at bat wins that the closers love so much, because then they get a lead to protect in the 9th. Wallace is on deck. Yankees and Tampa Bay play tonight with Freddie Garcia going against David Price. Seattle's at Toronto tonight. Vargas and Morrow to pitch there. Boy, the Mariners have dropped. They have plummeted in the standings. The Rangers have taken off. Seattle's lost 10 in a row. Texas has won 12 in a row. 2 balls and a strike. Rangers have built a 5-game lead over the Angels now in the AL West.
Now this could be an action pitch here. Rodriguez can ill afford to fall behind 3-1.
Carlos fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes to lead.
Rodriguez very deliberate.
He certainly is. And he throws to first, just checking the next homestand for the Astros since they're gone on a 10-day road trip after this. It'll start August 1st with Cincinnati here for 3. It's a Monday through Wednesday, all 7:05 starts, a day off on the 4th. And then 3 with Milwaukee here over the weekend, August 5th through the 7th. As 2 of the contenders in the NL Central come to Minute Maid Park. This next road trip will be 3 in Chicago, 4 in St. Louis, 3 in Milwaukee. So it's back to Central Division play for a string of games for the Astros. 16 in a row after this one.
It would be good to do a little winning early on this road trip, because this could be tough to win in Milwaukee the way that club plays at home.
That one gets by Flores, and Pence will go to second base on ball 3.
Well, that'll go as a wild pitch because it was in the dirt, but not a real good effort by Flores. Coming up out of his crouch, trying to pick that with a backhand as opposed to blocking the ball. That's just the lower unit kind of comes up a little bit, and he fails to plug the 5-hole.
Sure did.
The goaltender knows you have to protect the 5-hole.
That could be an awfully costly wild pitch. 3-2 count. Now they get together. Yeah, the Brewers are 33-14 at home. That is by far the best home record in the NL Central this year. Pittsburgh's 3 games over 500. St. Louis is 4 over. Cincinnati 3 over.
This is going to be Henry's last pitch of his outing right here. Unless it's a foul ball.
Bounces it for ball 4. Back-to-back walks will usually hasten a mound visit. There's already been one. Brett Wallace would be next.
Double switch.
Yep. Davey Johnson indicating that to Vic Carapazza. Pitcher spot is due up third. Rick Ankiel made the last out in the top of the inning. We'll see how Davey plays it in just a moment with the score. Washington 2, Houston 2. Be right back. Has moved from left field to center. Rick Ankiel has come out of the game in the double switch. Lance Nix has entered the game as the left fielder. He's batting 9th. And the pitcher, Tyler Clippard, goes into Rick Ankiel's number 6 spot in the order.
And check out those strikeout numbers. 68 punch outs in 54 1/3 innings. He has allowed 8 home runs, however, which is a pretty big number considering he's yielding just a 150 batting average. But he throws a lot of high fastballs. And so when a hitter runs into one, he can go a good long way. He's got a slider, a curveball, and a very good changeup. Right over the top he comes with that 4-seamer.
Last year he won 11 games in relief, working 91 innings. Out of 78 appearances, he struck out 112 in those 91 innings last season. Brett Wallace will be facing him with 2 men on, nobody out. Wallace is 0 for 3, a ground out and 2 strikeouts. Clippard, 26 years old, from Lexington, Kentucky, was a 9th round pick in 03 of the Yankees. Traded to Washington in December of 07.
54 1/3 innings this year. He's allowed only 27 hits. But 8 of those 27 hits have left the ballpark. That is a bizarre number.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat line. There's Johnson on deck as Wallace bats with Pence and Lee aboard. Wallace around a bunt, pushes it to the third baseman Zimmerman, who throws on the run over to Morse, and that's a sacrifice. Getting Pence to third, Lee to second.
Nice execution there by Wally. I don't know if he's been asked to bunt yet this year, but that was really well done.
That is his first sacrifice. Can't remember him trying one.
Squares early, just guides it out there towards third base. Doesn't waste any time. So many times you see a guy go up there to sacrifice and he'll take a strike, and you're wondering why.
Now the infielders are positioning themselves for an intentional walk. Chris Johnson to load the bases for Clint Barmas. Johnson with a 1-for-3 day will go to first base, and that'll set up a double play, force out at any base for Barmes.
But not much of a ground ball guy.
Davey Johnson with the guy who's number 2 in strikeouts among National League relievers.
Yeah, and with CJ being such an aggressive hitter, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, I certainly understand why they're doing it, what they're trying to accomplish, but kind of giving Clippard a chance to get ahead of CJ and see if he can get him to chase and go for the punch out there. Now there's no wiggle room with Barmes.
True. Barmes has been hot. He's 2 for 3 in this game.
Situation like this, there's no easy call for the managers. Second and third in the bottom half of the 8th and only 1 out.
Barmes is 2 for 8 with the bases loaded. Cora and Espinosa are set up to turn the double play. Ball 1 for Clippard.
Well, that's a bit of a gamble too. To not have the infield all the way in. You don't get the double play. The winning run comes home. The go-ahead run anyway. Potential winning run.
Up. Barmes bangs the bat on the ground. Morse over into foul territory. 2 outs. And now Quintero bats.
Everybody backs up. Clippard getting a huge out.
Quintero has an RBI double in 3 trips. Jason Michaels comes out to the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot is due up next. Ball 1 to Quintero, who had a couple of hits in last night's game, including an RBI on that bunt single. Now a chance to have another big impact on this one. He's driven in runs in 3 straight games, make it 4 now. First time in his career he's done that. This is start number 6 since he came back from that disabled list stint for about 6 weeks with a right ankle sprain. One ball, 1 strike for Clippard.
That's his game, the high fastball. Two walks to start the inning. Sacrifice bunt, intentional walk. The Nationals trying to give the Astros a run. Will they be able to cash it in?
It's 1-2. Nationals have had 1 win at Minute Maid Park in their history.
This pitch should probably be in the dirt or shoulder high.
Popped up. Morse coming over, but out of play for him.
Flores was set up off the outside corner. Clippard threw the ball pretty much over the heart of the plate and up a little bit. To a very aggressive hitter. If I were Clippard, I would take a shot way up.
The Astros as a team are hitting .258 with the bases loaded this year. Nothing after 3. Dodgers and Giants in San Francisco. Lincecum versus Kershaw. He got him on strikes. So clutch pitching by Clippard, getting the foul pop and the strikeout on Vargas and Quintero with the bases loaded, sending this game to the 9th. Still tied 2-2.
Texas Ford dealers. The action heads to the 9th. Mark Melanson is on the mound. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays are in the booth.
Thanks, Greg Lucas, and this will be the 4th appearance during this 6-game homestand for Mark Melanson, the Astros closer, coming in for the 9th inning with the game tied at 2. He is 5-3 with 8 saves and 11 tries.
Well, save number 8 coming in last night's ball game. Bottom of the order due up here for the Nats.
And with Nix in the 9 spot, it'll be Flores and Cora due up first. Viva Mexico.
In case somebody punches out 4 times, he's got the sombrero to deliver.
Yes, he does. We've arranged that. Let's see if we have any candidates. No, we do not have any candidates as of right now.
No, it has not been a big strikeout game.
No, it hasn't. 4 for Myers. Del Rosario had a 1-2-3 8th inning with a couple of ground balls and a soft liner. Jesus Flores is the leadoff man here in the 9th. Flores singled in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. And not a big strikeout game for either club. Only 5 Astros hitters have struck out and 4 Nationals hitters. Cora's on deck. Fly ball to right. Hunter Pence moving in a little bit. 1 pitch, 1 out for Melanson in the 9th. Pitcher's spot due to lead off for the Astros in the bottom of the 9th. Then Bourne and Altuve.
There we go. Game-winning hit for Altuve.
Wouldn't that be a finish?
Stage is set.
Alex Cora singled in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. Nix is on deck. With Cora's bunting ability, Chris Johnson's in on the grass at 3rd. Wallace playing deep behind first base and close to the line, as you see on that shot.
So that would be the play for Cora if he was thinking about a bunt, a little drag bunt.
Sure would.
Wally guarding the line. You have a little more room over there on the right side.
Phillies 8, Cubs nothing. Bottom of the 7th at Wrigley. Jimmy Rollins hit his 10th home run. Vance Worley's twirling a shutout. Bouncer goes to Wallace. Tossing to Melanson. 2 outs.
Worley's supposed to be that good, or is it just a function of being in the Philly rotation?
It's a good question.
Automatically pitch good.
Not really
He's
sure
been
about
lights
that.
out.
He's been terrific. You know, they've had these injuries on their pitching staff, and with Oswald out for the last several weeks and Blanton out for the last several weeks, he has really stepped up. Lance Nix coming up with 2 outs, nobody on. Powerful outfielder. Carries a .272 average with 12 homers, 35 runs batted in. He's had 228 at bats. Strike to Nix.
Cut fastball has really been a go-to pitch for Mark, whether it's away from a righty or moving in towards the hands of a left-handed hitter, as he started Nix with 1.
Nix 1 for 5 with 2 runs batted in the series. Big cut there, takes him to an 0-2 count. Nix hit a high bouncing 2-run single to right field in the opener of the series Monday night. That was in the 9th inning when Washington lengthened its lead and won 5-2. And he's down on strikes here. Nope, he is not down on strikes.
Carapazza arguing foul tip. I'm not so sure that was a foul tip.
Brad Mills coming
That's
out.
a call you make on sound, and maybe he heard the ball hit the dirt. Usually you can tell by the hitter. You'll see the hitter react with 2 strikes. So I got a piece of it, and there was nothing from Nix that gave you the indication that he made contact with that ball. That's a tough call for the umpire. Just react to what you hear.
Reading his lips, that's what he said. No, I heard it. I went by the sound. So he rules foul ball, and it's still 0-2. And upstairs, Nix has hit 5 of his 12 homers in the 7th inning or later. Fouls that one. Still a 1-2 count to Lance Nix. His career high 15 homers with Cincinnati in 09. Lance, a native Texan from Houston, went to Midland High School. Davey Johnson, a native Texan from San Antonio, went to A&M. Melanson gets a swing and a miss. And there's the strikeout to end the top of the 9th inning and send this game to the bottom half with the pitcher's spot. Then Bourne and Altuve, it's tied 2-2. Washington 2, Houston 2. It's summer vacation. They've seen a good ball game. How's it going to be resolved? Angel Sanchez will be the pinch hitter for the pitcher Mark Melanson to lead it off in the bottom of the 9th inning. These fans would love to be jumping for joy very soon. The Astros have had 11 last at bat wins this season of their 32 victories. Bourne and Altuve to follow Sanchez to the plate. Angel has done well as a pinch hitter. 7 for 19 with 2 runs batted in. Overall, he's been a .251 hitter with 1 homer, and he's driven in 24.
Came up with a solution for America's childhood obesity problem.
Oh, really?
Bring him out of the ballpark and just put him on the big screen and let him jump up and down for 3 hours.
Okay, that'll work. That's ball 1 high from Tyler Clippard. Henry Rodriguez in 1 inning allowed no hits, no runs. Walked 2, had a strikeout. Clippard came in with 2 men on base. Delivered an intentional walk after a sac bunt. Then got Barmas and Quintero with the bases loaded. Foul, and it's a 1 ball, 1 strike
change up there. Clippard, he's got a good fastball, but it's not like the Rodriguez kid. He's not throwing 97 miles an hour, but the overarm delivery creates some deception. And you can see with those swings by Q, they look like pretty hittable pitches, but he was able to throw them right by him. There's another one.
1 and 2. Paid attendance 29,605. And he gets a strikeout. Number 2 for Clippard. Michael Bourne bunted for a hit in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 4. Jose Altuve comes out to the on-deck circle. Ball 1 to Bourne. Two balls, no strikes to Michael. Fouled away. It's a 2-1 count.
Talk so much about fastball command, and normally you're referring to a guy who's able to keep the ball down around the knees and on the corners, but for Clippard, he's able to command the top of the strike zone and a little bit above it. He's able to just throw it in that zone where it's tempting enough for a hitter to attack, but very difficult to get to.
Right there for a strike, and it's a full count on Michael. Bernardino shading toward left center field on Bourne. Ball 4, but it's a strikeout instead, and that's number 3. 3 in a row for Clippard. Now Altuve bats. Altuve is 0 for 4 in his major league debut. 3 fly balls and a strikeout. Hunter Pence on deck. Zimmerman is playing him deep at third base. There's strike 1. Altuve looks at the ball. That makes it 1-1. One and two for Clippard.
Clippard proving that he can lower his sights and bring that ball into the zone for a strike as well. Morris right on the line at first base.
A hit. First major league hit for Jose Altuve. And baseball's being thrown over toward the Astros dugout.
A moment he will never forget. He gets his first knock off the winner of the All-Star game. A solid line drive single to right field. Very appreciative crowd with a big ovation for Altuve.
Hit number 8 for the Astros. The line scores are identical, 2-8 and 0. Altuve's a base runner. Hunter Pence the batter. He has a triple and 2 walks. 0-1 to Pence.
Altuve wasn't able to deliver the game-winning hit, but he could score the game-winning run. Clippard, remember, has allowed 8 home runs already this year. Big number for a relief pitcher.
Altuve was 5 for 10 in base stealing at Corpus Christi. One and one.
It was a very exciting swing and miss.
It was.
Kinds of potential there, and nothing happened.
7 walk-off hits for Pence. And one against the Dodgers May 23rd was in the last home series. The Astros have won. Pitch out. 2 balls and a strike. Altuve and Lancaster had 19 steals in 28 tries.
Usually the guys in the minor leagues not as adept at shutting down the running game as the big league batteries are.
Three balls and a strike.
An interesting pitch out call there by Davey Johnson. With Clippard behind in the count, trying to fool Hunter with a changeup. Here we go again, 3-1. He walks him. He moves the winning run into scoring position.
Carlos Lee on deck. Lee up for ball 4. 2 men on for Carlos Lee. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That pitch out was on a 1-1 count. So then Clippard was behind 2-1 through ball 3 and then ball 4 to Pence. And now a fresh count on Carlos, who has an RBI single and a walk today.
And when he didn't get the swing at the changeup on 2-1, that just changed the nature of the at bat. Once it got to 3-1, Clippard didn't want to throw a cookie in there to a guy who could drive one out of the ballpark. Tried to get Hunter to chase the high fastball, and Hunter showing good restraint, drawing his 3rd walk of the afternoon.
Had 24 walks this season coming into this game. Foul back. Clifford has thrown 32 pitches in this game, 17 for strikes.
Guys in the Astros dugout will be conflicted here if Carlos drives in Altuve with the game-winning run. They won't know who to go mug.
Altuve's dancing off second. 0-2.
Spread those legs out a little bit. Shorten the stroke. Looking just a little base hit up the middle. That'll get it done.
1-2.
But having to push those glasses up on his nose after every other pitch. I'm surprised he doesn't wear some kind of a strap. He's waiting for that big endorsement deal to come through. From Croquis or something. Change up.
2-2.
Walk-off win in the ninth would be a very nice way to head into the off day and the long road trip.
In the air, and that's out of play. Wallace on deck. Lee tries to win it here in the last of the ninth inning. Altuve had his first major league hit with 2 outs, a single to right. Pence walked. Nationals have stranded 7. The Astros have left 9 men on base. To center field, Bernardino backing, turning, and extra innings will follow at Minute Maid Park today with no runs a hit, 2 men stranded for the Astros in the 9th inning. It's still tied 2-2 after 9.
Feed your wild side. Action moving to the top of the 10th. Lopez is on. Bill Brown will tell you about it. He and JD are upstairs.
Thank you, Greg. It is a 2-2 game with Wilton Lopez coming in, and Angel Sanchez is staying in to play second base. So Lopez goes into Jose Altuve's number 2 spot in the lineup. Would indicate that if this game moves on past the 10th inning, Brad Mills would count on Lopez probably to stay in this ball game the way it looks. He's 1-4 with a 2.91 ERA in 43 1/3 innings with 36 strikeouts, 14 walks.
Follows Del Rosario and Melanson to the mound here out of the Astros bullpen. So far for the pen, 6 up, 6 down. Bernardina leading it off. A speedster, so you got to pinch it a little bit on the corners.
That's what they do. And it is strike 1 from Wilton Lopez. Excellent work by those guys you mentioned, Del Rosario and Melanson. Retiring 6 straight. Bernardina's 0 for 3 with a walk. He stole a base and was stranded at third in the first inning. Bangs that one off his leg, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Wallace, Johnson, and Barmas are due up in the Houston 10th inning. Astros are 1-4 in extra inning games. Nationals are 9-5, 14 extra inning games.
Their pitching has been good this year. Their pitching keeps them in a lot of games. And their offense has not been very strong, so they don't blow many people out. So a lot of close games for the Nationals.
Bernardina with a grounder. Johnson goes him out. Oh, he can move up that line. 1 out.
Kind of drifts out onto that front foot, so he's got a head start after he puts the ball in play.
Espinosa has been on twice with a single and a walk. Nationals lost a 9-8 game in Atlanta on Sunday. There's a strike. Another 1-run loss last night, 7-6. Barmas perfectly positioned. Takes care of the second out. 8 straight retired by Astros relief corps. And it's Zimmerman next. He's 0 for 4.
Always a good sign when Wilton Lopez is getting ground balls. He's got his good sinker going.
Back in May, the Nationals played 3 straight extra inning games. 2 in Atlanta. They split those, and then they went home and lost to Florida. There's strike 1 to Zimmerman with Morse on deck. It's a 1-1 count. It looks really hot from the shots we've seen at Wrigley Field of the fans in Chicago today. Phillies 9, Cubs 1, bottom of the 8th inning.
We're going to catch a break, Brownie.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
It's going to be 97 tomorrow.
97
but thunderstorms are going to, I think it's going to be like 88 on Friday.
Oh, okay. 1 and 2.
Which will make that 3-foot wide booth just a little bit more comfortable.
Yes, it'll be very spacious. Jimmy Rollins has hit a pair of home runs today for the Phils, giving him 11. He's finally gotten something going this year. Last couple weeks, batting average has been climbing. Dodgers and Giants are scoreless after 5. What else is new with Kershaw and Lincecum battling each other?
Yeah, that big ballpark in San Francisco, that was fairly predictable.
Well, you mentioned the hitting coach change for Don Mattingly. Well, it's been a rough year for the Dodgers in many ways. They're currently 14.5 behind the Giants. They're 42 and 55. They've lost 4 in a row. That's a strikeout. Lopez has a 1-2-3 10th inning. Now the Astros with Wallace, Johnson, and Varmus due up, try to win it in the last of the 10. Of the 10th inning, pitcher number 4 will be in the game for Davy Johnson. He is Ryan Matthews with a different spelling of Matthews, and he's 2-1 with a 1.62 ERA. JD.
It's always got to be somebody in there, Brownie.
Yep.
Do it a little bit different than everybody else.
That's right. But the numbers are good, so he can spell it any way he wants to if he pitches like that.
Well, that's why he's been able to rise above. He probably got picked on for his strange spelling of Matthews, and use that as ammunition. You're not going to beat me.
He's got some pretty good ammunition coming from that right arm too, and we've seen it. We saw it, in fact, last night when he had a scoreless inning. Dodged a hit and a walk, but nonetheless put up another 0, and that's what he's been doing quite often for this Nationals club. Cora comes in for a word with him. Davy Johnson checking the lineup card. Davy has 3 position players who haven't been used yet on his bench, and Brad Mills has 2. Brett Wallace leads it off in the home 10th inning. He's 0 for 3 with a sac bunt. He put down that sacrifice after back-to-back walks in the 8th inning from Henry Rodriguez, but they did not lead to a run, as Tyler Clippard got 2 important outs with the bases loaded. He shoots this one into left field. Leadoff single for Wallace.
Well, a little sinker running away from him, and he did exactly what you should do with it. Just line it the other way. Which is kind of his stroke to begin with.
Chris Johnson has a single in the 4th inning and the intentional walk in the 8th. Matthews has an ERA of 1 in the month of July for 9 appearances. CJ showing butt, takes ball 1. Clint Varmus on deck. Matthews is from California, went to Sacramento Community College, a 19th round pick by the Rockies in 03, traded to Washington in July of 09 for Joe Beimel. Had Tommy John surgery in 09.
Swing it.
Runner goes, and it's foul.
A little hit and run on a 1-0 count. Guessing strike. CJ had a pitch to handle, just couldn't put it in play.
Dave Clark transmitting signs from the bench. That's to right field. Worth with the catch. One out, and it's Barmas batting. The Astros left the bases loaded in the 8th. They left 2 men on in the 9th. Now here in the 10th, it's Barmas who's 2 for 4. Quintero on deck. Sanchez is in the 9 spot in the lineup. Wilton Lopez in the number 2 position in the order, with Altuve having left the game. Strike 1 to Barmas. Matthews pitching last night with the 1 inning, gave up a hit to Chris Johnson in that game. 1 walk-off hit for Clint. It's a 1-1 count.
Just trying to keep that fastball sinking down around the knees, looking for a double play ball. So has a slider and a split finger pitch. Sinker away.
Espinosa to Cora. Cora gets it over to Morse for the double play. And after 10, it's still tied at 2.
Jerky, feed your wild side. And the action does go to the top of the 11th. Bill Brown and Jim Boucher.
All right, Greg Lucas, we go to inning number 11, and it's tied 2-2. Those fans waiting to see what might happen here as Wilton Lopez is beginning his 2nd inning. Well, nothing has happened since the Astros relief corps came in the 8th. 9 straight outs, JD.
Yeah, really good work by all the Astros pitchers today. Solid effort from Myers and now Del Rosario, Melanson, and Lopez. Shutdown pitching so far. Dangerous man here. He likes to swing at the first pitch.
And Myers retired the last man he faced in the 7th, so that's 10 straight overall retired by Astros pitchers.
That's that funky little rehearsal Morse does, that kind of slow motion little swing with the hands pulled in. Big dude reminds you a little bit of Jack Clark.
Jack Clark. He had some power. He was kind of an isolated power hitter in his Cardinal years. He really relied on his home run swing because they had a lot of rabbits around him, and he was the guy who provided the thump.
Hugh holding that one a good long while. Thought he had a strike.
Morse never has played more than 98 games in a big league season coming into this year. It's game number 87 for him. Hit .403 in May. 1-2. Hit 5 homers in a 7-game span. He was drafted as a shortstop by the White Sox in 2000.
That's one big shortstop.
Yeah, it is. Todd Coffey is percolating in the Nationals bullpen. Foul back, still 1-2. This year, Morse played 26 games in left field. Then Adam LaRoche got hurt at first base, and he moved over to that position.
Where'd all the kids go? Oh, some are still here. I see the green shirts.
Getting snow
green
cones.
shirted tribe is out there and right.
Yeah. Good pitch there for Wilton Lopez. Had some serious sink, and Morse swung over the top of it for a strikeout. 4 straight retired by Wilton, who's pitching in his 3rd straight game in this series.
Well, he's got outstanding stuff today. Boy, you know, he threw that fastball by Zimmerman last inning at 95 miles an hour. Shows a real good slider here to Morse. He's thrown a couple good changeups.
He pitched to only one batter last night, struck him out. It's ball 1 to Worth. Worth tied it with a 2-run homer in the 6th inning off Myers. He's 2 for 4. He also has a double in the 4th. Wilton Monday night faced only 3 batters in that game, so they've been short outings in this series. 1-1. Wilton's thrown 18 pitches so far today. Foul ball makes it a 1-2 count. Astros have Quintero, Sanchez, and Bourne due up in the bottom of the inning. Then the pitcher's spot would come up. It's 2-2. Eight hits for the Nationals, 9 for the Astros. Houston has stranded 11, with Washington leaving 7 so far. Smack deep. Michael Bourne on the run, way back up toward Talus Hill. That one bounces, goes off the wall, and that's a double for Worth. His 2nd. That's 3 extra base hits for him today. He's come out of it in this game after being in a lengthy slump. He was 11 for 82 when this game started.
The X-Man delivers. The Wolverine driving it to center field. Well played by Michael out there. Morse has to settle in at second base. Obviously, that's really important with 1 out here in the inning.
Now the pinch hitter is Ian Desmond, batting for the pitcher, Matthews.
Michael doesn't get to that ball in good shape. Astros would have Worth standing at 3rd, would have to pull the infield in.
Desmond at 226 has 3 homers, 25 runs batted in, 0 for 1 pinch hitting. No balls, 2 strikes to Desmond. Matthews in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. That's low, and it's a 1-2 count with Flores on deck.
I'm watching Worth as he goes back to the base after the pitch. He's keeping a close watch on Q.
Well, with their history, you can understand that. Don't ever take your eyes off Q. In the air, and Sanchez is on the grass, catching that one for the 2nd out. Jesus Flores comes to the plate.
Just threw behind Worth there at second, and I think Worth said something along the lines of, "Come on, dude, give me a break, would you?"
Because just Worth had rounded third. Sanchez threw behind him and got him in a rundown, got him out earlier in this series. Flores is 1 for 4. Cora's on deck. Strike one. Jason Michaels, Carlos Corporon still available for Brad Mills. He had only 4 extra players with the extra pitcher provided by Wesley Wright's call-up. Now the Astros will have a player move to make, it would seem, for Friday. They might have more than one, because Matt Downs presumably would return Friday from paternity leave to open that series in Chicago. And also Jason Bourgeois might be ready by Friday. That has not been stated specifically, but it's possible, from his injury rehab assignment. There's a swing, and Flores is down on strikes. In the 11th, it's no runs, a hit, a man stranded. Bottom of the 11th coming. Can the Astros break the 2-2 tie? After 2, they got an RBI single with 2 outs in the first from Carlos Lee, and then a Quintero RBI double with 1 out in the second inning. That lead held up until the 6th inning. Jason Worth's 2-run homer tied it. It has been tied ever since 5.5 innings of play. Now Todd Coffey is pitcher number 5 in the game. He's 3-0. His ERA 3.82, but since June 1st, 6.48 is his ERA.
Coffee talk. He's a venti. He's a big cup of coffee.
Yes, he is. And he came in last night, gave up 2 hits and a run in 1 inning. In fact, Humberto Quintero got a single off him, and he's the first man he's facing now. Angel Sanchez will bat second. He's in the 9 spot, and then Michael Bourne is due up third here in the Astros 11th. Q with that run scoring double in the second inning is 1 for 4.
Last time up, he struck out with the bases loaded, couldn't catch up to the Clippard fastball. Coffey more of a sinker slider guy. He does throw hard.
Toward right field, Worth legging it over, laying out for it, but that's in for a hit for Quintero. That's the way the home 11 starts, with his second hit of the game. He's had a nice homestand with the bat.
When he first hit it, I thought it was going to be an easy play for Worth. Fights off that ball moving in on him. Worth playing fairly deep, a late break, and comes up short.
Now a possibility certainly with Angel Sanchez. He does that very well. Ball bouncing in front of Worth. He kept it from getting behind him. 8 sacrifice bunts for Sanchez to lead the position players for the Astros. Bud Norris has 9 to lead the club. He takes, and it's ball 1. Michael Bourne on deck, and the pitcher's spot would follow. Jason Michaels probably would be called upon to pinch hit if he gets to that. Zimmerman is in on the grass at third. The bunt is pushed toward first. Morse throwing to the second sacker, covering. Espinosa for the sacrifice from 3 to 4, 1 out. Now Michael Bourne will try to win it. Michael bunted for a single in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 5.
We got a lefty warming up in the pen. A young Billy Wagner.
Michaels is in the on deck circle. Bourne's hitting .342 with runners in scoring position this season. He looks at ball 1.
And Michael has stepped the other way in the outfield and shallow, especially in center and left. Not so much with Worth in right.
Up the middle, and that trickles behind second. Quintero's getting stopped. Very short throw to the plate, and there it is, accurately made by Bernardina. That would have been a death trap for Dave Clark. The fans wanted him set, of course, but because of the positioning of the outfielders, Bernardina was right behind second when he got to the Bourne single.
Q might be hurt a little bit. Dave Clark asking for time. Can't afford to have a guy who's slowed out there, but Q's trying to wave him off. This ball softly hit enough. I thought Q would be able to score on it, but Bernardina able to close on it in such a hurry. That forced Dave Clark to throw up the stop sign. The throw was strong and accurate. I think with 2 outs, for sure the play is to send him anyway.
Yeah.
But with 1 out, and given that Q's not a speedy guy, you certainly can understand Dave Clark's thinking.
So Jason Michaels is the pinch hitter for Wilton Lopez, who in 2 innings allowed 1 hit, no runs. Time is called. Lopez had no walks and struck out 3. And they talk it over on the mound. Now Quintero tweaked that right ankle a few nights ago on a pop-up. Sanchez was playing third. He slid, and Quintero tried to avoid him, and the right ankle sprain that had kept him on the disabled list for 6 weeks was tweaked. And that might have been acting up on him. Middle infielders in, able to turn 2, but also they could be coming home. Jason Michaels bats.
Outfielders really shorten up.
Michaels takes it. It's strike 1. J. Mike 4 for 26 pinch hitting. Looking for his first pinch RBI of the season. In 106 at bats, he's hit .208, 2 homers. He's driven in 8.
You see an outfielder retreat on the ball in the air, game over.
Line drive hit to center field, game over as Jason Michaels wins it with a pinch RBI single, scoring Quintero. And they mob Michaels at first base on his first pinch hit RBI of the season. The Astros win their first home series since late May. And they take 2 out of 3 from Washington. This one, they win in the 11th as Michaels comes through. Final score 3-2 Houston in 11 today.
Not a bad pitch by Coffey. A little slider off the outside edge, but Jason just flicks it into shallow center. He knew as soon as he hit it, that ball was going to find safe haven out there. and let the celebration begin.
Well, it certainly is, and Greg Lucas is right down there in the midst of it. We'll be going to him for a live interview in just a moment as he gets set up with Jason Michaels. Very happy look on his face as he gets to first. Well, it's a 3-3 homestand. It's only the second 500 homestand the Astros have had all season long, so they ended on a very good note. Looks like Greg is ready to go. Let's go to him right now. Greg.
Thanks a lot, Brownie. Your hair's all messed up. What's the deal? Well, how about that? Winning a game finally.
That's right. That's right. It feels good. Win a series. It was a total team effort today. Myers did a great job. Great job. Bullpen did a great job, and we came through there.
It's the life of the pinch hitter. You sit there and watch all the whole game. You finally get an at-bat, sort of an important at-bat. You came through.
Well, I was just trying to have a good at-bat, and was able to get a slider right there and just get enough on it to get it over that second baseman's head.
I know it's been a little rough year for you up to this point. This was just your first pinch hit RBI. But it doesn't take much to get you going, does it?
Well, I just try to get in there and have a good at bat, and hopefully, just get on base. That's the main. To me, that's the main thing of a pinch hitter is to get on base.
We talked this a little bit with Clint Barmas about this last night. Obviously, the club's record is not good, but once you get into a game, you forget all about that, and the object is just to win today's game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's come out and we come out and we're competitive, and we really are every night. And it was a good win. It was a good series win.
Hey, J. Mike, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for getting the hit to end this ball game.
Thank you.
Jason Michaels has been with us. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Greg. Wilton Lopez, the winner, and Todd Coffey, the loser, as the Astros maul Jason Michaels. They take it in the 11th. Final score: Houston 3 and Washington 2.
¿Esta es la que tiene la corriente? Sí, la corriente sale. No, aquí la traigo. No lo tienes que decir tú. Para que vean, profesional. La paleta. Bueno, entonces, pareja, ¿qué hacemos?